Biggest thing is you want to make sure that you've got a drill if you are weak like I am, because a screwdriver is just not going to help get the bolt out of the gun and the swivels out of the bottom of the gun very easily. So that's what I always suggest. And then of course you need your traditionals. White electrical tape, roughly a whole roll, usually only need half. Black, you need 3 inches. I'll show you. And then you want strapping tape. Strapping tape's the biggest thing. Strapping tape comes in a lot of different styles, one of which is clear and has no threads. It is strapping tape, but it's not gonna help keep the longevity of the gun. In the event a drop starts to crack the gun, you're gonna wanna make sure that the threads that you can see here in this one are gonna keep it intact. If it doesn't have the threads, the shards from the rifle can start to break the tape away and rip, and then it doesn't do anything. So, like I said, some things are gonna go fast and some things are gonna go slow. Biggest thing is make sure that the strapping tape is what your saving grace is. The tighter you pull, the more you sweat, and the longer your rifle will last. So you wanna make sure that you start hitting the 4 impact points. The 4 big ones are obviously the nose, the tip. You wanna put tape roughly about the size of your fist. Where the swivel goes, which I've already removed, you wanna do another one about the size of your fist, probably another inch on either side, and I'll show what that looks like. For the barrel, you wanna start about 3 inches from where the bolt would connect, and that's gonna be one continuous loop that comes down, and you wanna make sure you've gone about 3 to 4 inches past the neck of the gun. If you stop at the neck, this is a big breaking point. It could come completely off. You wanna go just a little bit longer to get in the meat part. And then last but not least, about a 4 fingers width on the butt of the gun. Okay, for the butt, here's the trick that I have learned. The butt starts nice and rectangular down at the bottom, but then it starts to have this curve down here. The good thing with the strapping tape is you can pull it. Again, it will make a little bit of wrinkle, but that's okay. I do the butt in 2 segments. The first thing I do is I'll start at the edge and I'll loop around, and you wanna start honestly on the bottom and let this cover just a little bit all the way under. The first time you go over, it's gonna be nice and flush with the edge of the butt. Again, pull tight, no big deal. By the time you come around the second time, the way that the curvature of the wood exists, it's gonna pull it away from the barrel, and you wanna actually pull the opposite direction. So this first one right here, I automatically start to pull about a 30-degree angle. Again, those wrinkles will exist, sorry. Press those down, really flatten them out. A little heat with your hand goes a long way. From there, it'll loop it all the way around, down where the swivel would be. That should allow it to be nice and flat, parallel with the bottom of the butt. Go around one more time. And as you can see, I pulled it this direction on the diagonal. This will now pull it back the other direction, giving a nice little crisscross. And by the time you get back to the end, right here, give it a small little cut. Whoops. And flatten it out. If it goes back onto the edge of the butt, no big deal. But again, 2 times, nice and vertical for the first one, allow it to hit the diagonal. You'll do it on the further end and come back the other way, okay? Oh, wrong way. Good rule of thumb, from where the hole is, the width of the tape, just a little bit past it is where you want to start. That puts a little bit of about 4 fingers in between where you ended on the nose and where the next one goes. That's rough, it's not science, but it does allow that little part right there to have grip, and so it's not taped the whole way down. Starting at the nose, working its way down, the fatness of the rifle will turn the strapping tape on its own. You don't have to pull it anywhere until you get to the end. Instead of keeping on down the barrel, give it a slight tug back to the left, loop it around one more, and it'll mirror what happened at the very beginning. It should be good. I always recommend starting at the top of the barrel. You'll move on into the bolt area. It's going to be very funky right here in this first little bolt. Deal with it, the bolt covers it up. By the time you get to the neck, it's a matter of crisscross action. And I'll slow down the video when we get there just so you can see what I've done. So here's how this works. Always worry about the level of the wood from where you came from. Don't worry about what's coming next. So I try and keep the left side, as I'm looking at it, nice and tight. That's gonna pull it flat up on the bolt part, that last little part, and then it's gonna wanna start to curve back on itself. Back to the tip of the gun, don't allow that to happen. So continue to pull to the right. That should loop you around the neck. And I always recommend, if you haven't already started sweating, you need to now. Pull even tighter. It's gonna wanna continue back because it's at that small valley and that's where the wood is gonna take the tape. Keep pulling it to the right. Also, little corner. I can see that. There we go. It's coming in, no big deal. You're gonna cover it with electrical tape anyway, all good. So now, electrical tape works the same way. The electrical tape is more malleable. I always start with the tip of the gun, go back to the butt, barrel, and then the middle portion as well. The only exception is instead of just doing a crisscross on the nose, do a full X twice over. So you get your little T-bar action. Hope you can see. There we go, T-bar action, and now crisscross over the corners. Allow the tape to go down about an inch. Nothing too crazy. And now your goal is to cover up all of the strapping tape. Make sure the only thing you see would be electrical tape. Start at the nose, and comes with practice. Easiest thing to do, use your finger. Once you know you're halfway on, pull all the way until you've looped around and know that there is no strapping tape visible. That takes years of practice. It doesn't hurt to rotate the gun as you do it. Just FYI. I've done too many of these, to be completely honest. Here's always something that will help. You've covered up the hole on the bottom for the butt and over here on the barrel. I haven't done the electrical tape here. I usually come back to this. This is third for me. But right here, what you want to do is take the swivel, screw, excuse me, push that through the strapping tape, use your drill, and just put it in. About that part. Nothing too crazy. What this will do is you can wrap all the electrical tape around it, pull that out. Before you put the swivel back in, that hole will still exist for a quick second. Put it back in. You don't have to play any guessing game. Back to the barrel, same thing. I would use the screw, punch that screw in, put it in about, I don't know, centimeter. Metric, that's hard for us, you know. And then last but not least, the middle of the gun you can do in one quick motion. I always go over the edge of the strapping tape. Not that much, just to be on the safe side. Some people have asked, okay, so I'm doing this specific section, I'm about to run out of tape, what do I do? Don't panic. If you're especially on the barrel, usually this is the last one that you do. If you're about to end, stop under the bolt and then start a new one with a new roll. No one knows that you continued it on. If you are stopping halfway down here and you want to do a new one, just overlap it enough and you can go back on itself with the tape to cover that completely up and then go back again, so you never know where the end is. Because you're never going to want to undo it from the middle. You're going to want to undo it from where it ends at the edge of whatever side you're on. And like I said, underneath is where I like to pull it off so you really can't see it. And you've got your taped gun. You can really see, I know it's really bright and I'm sorry. The goal is to have wood exposed between the nose and the swivel. Wood is exposed where your toss position typically would be. My 4 fingers, the way I tape it, they will always touch the wood. They won't touch any electrical tape. Helps me know where my toss position is. And then you do want 4 in the middle of the butt. Again, we love to toss from the middle of the butt. That's a moment where that grip helps. If you've just got electrical tape, sometimes it gets a little slippery. So again, user's choice. All right, so strap. A little bit out of order. You've got 2 little locks here that keep the strap in play. Personally, cover them up with black tape. It prevents it from ruining not only the wood, but the electrical tape on the underside of your gun. Here's a little tidbit. Where you have the holes should be where your toss position is. So this is up by the neck, okay? Where you have the more solid, that's where you want, the toss position by the barrel. Where you have the solid, that's where you want the neck, because that's gonna give you maximum surface area on the connection of the gun to give you that pop when you catch the gun, okay? If you've got the holes there, it makes it kind of hollow. It's like, so you know. You can do it. It did it. All right. Last but not least, a lot of people like to tape the swivel, the clip. A lot of names for this. I don't care to. I don't know why. I think it's a protection issue, and that's fine. No big deal. Instead of covering the entire clip, I just like to take the screw, take a small little white piece, because sometimes you need quick access to it. And just take this small little white piece, cover up where the screw is, use your thumbs and press it out. It's really all you need. Again, personal preference and what your directors may want in the long run. They may want you to circle it a few times, that's fine. Again, people tape things completely different sometimes. Doesn't mean it's wrong. This is just my version. And best of luck with your new rifle. Bye.